And I think we're good. I think it's live on YouTube. It appears to be live on my profile. I have to check and make it public because it's weird like that. Hey, everybody that's watching. We are very excited to have some folks here. We're just doing a little bit of tech support theater. Here we go. And we're going to make this public. We did it. Here we go. And it's just the three of us today for a little bit. We may have a John Tomlinson if he can make it back. He got an important call from his dad as we were going live, and I gave him the time off graciously. I said that he was allowed to spend time with his dad. So we are. Let's see here. Hey, look at that. Mega Mom in the chat. Welcome aboard. No plot meeting tonight, so you can actually watch this week. Welcome aboard. Okay, so I think the tech is working. Let's do some audio checks. Jeff, say a word or something.
Hey, everyone.
You're supposed to say a word or something. And Linda, what about you?
Or something.
Thank you. You got to make a choice. Great. And obviously mine appears to be working, so I'll take it. So, welcome to our podcast. I'm going to count us in, and then we're going to go. We have no Amanda tonight because she is on the West Coast for GDC. Can't wait to have her back for the next episode, so she can tell us all about it, and so we can finally talk about Civilization 7, which we've been holding off for a while. But this week, let's see what we've got. We've got some interesting stuff. So 3, 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Engaged Family Gaming Podcast. My name is Steven Dutzman. I'm your host, and I am joined this week by two of my very best friends in the whole wide world. First off, I have Jeff, my best buddy from the frozen north. Sir, how are you?
I am doing good. It's podcast night.
Podcast night is best night. Is it still frozen up in the frozen north, or is it soggy in the frozen north right now?
It's kind of soggy. We hit 60 degrees today, but then my weather app says we're supposed to get some snow tomorrow, so.
Yeah, it'd be like that. We just had the discussion about having the kids put the snow shovels in the shed, which means it's definitely snowing.
Yeah.
It's definitely snowing again. So
all our snow melted, and then my wife told me that I needed to put away the Christmas inflatables that was under the pile of snow.
Yep. Yeah, that's
fair.
And now you did that. That means that there's going to be a snow again.
It's not Christmas, so they still needed to put away.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And next up is, and last but not least, is the Mistress of Magnificence, otherwise known as Mom. Linda, how are you?
I'm doing great. So glad to be here.
So glad to see you. It's been so long. Since Friday. I know.
Oh, that's since Friday.
I saw you on Friday. Yes. So,
that's right. Man.
I know. Time flies when everything is on fire. So, speaking of everything on fire, let's start with good news. Jeff, what do you got for us?
My good news, I guess I'll say my good news is that we are planning and getting ready to have our next murder mystery party.
We love murder mystery parties at the Walker House.
Yes, we are doing a Vegas theme, and I was very happy when I sent out the emails, because the emails I sent out to everyone, the subject line was, "Are you all in for a murder mystery in Vegas?"
Oh. You know what? I approve of that. Good job. Good job. Can't wait to hear more about it. What was that, Jeff? I'm sorry.
I said it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to hear more about it as it gets closer. Linda, how about you?
Oh man, this is a wild, crazy week. I'm halfway through parent-teacher conferences, so that is a relief that halfway through. And tomorrow, in between all of the craziness, we're doing a fun run as a school-wide fundraiser. So it's an exciting week.
Awesome. Well, we have good news from we actually have good news from the chat, which we love to hear that. We've got Ravens is that is Megamom. I just want to clarify for those folks that are longtime EFG fans, Ravens is Megamom. They say good news on spring break halfway through the semester. So good to hear that. We know. Is it really halfway through the semester? Yeah. Man, that's wild.
Well,
you know,
for universities and
for universities, yeah,
and also universities and also schools that start in early August.
Yeah.
So the South, and I think Jeff, actually, do they start in early August out in your area?
No, we start in late August.
Okay, so you're more our timeline.
Like a week before Labor Day. They used to not start until after Labor Day here, but then they slowly shifted everything over.
They did the same thing with us too. Yeah, it's just, it's wild. But the more I think about it, well, congrats on spring break. We've got a couple of weeks before our kids are home.
Ours are off in a couple weeks too.
And I think it's the same for my wife and my kids, if I remember correctly.
It's nice when they align.
For her benefit, I hope they're not, so she can have some peace. Because when all of us are home, it's crazy. And I might have to find somewhere else to work during spring break. Goodness gracious. So, well, are you watching on YouTube, Megamom? Because if you're on YouTube, that's what it does. I don't know. Because it shows that you're commenting on YouTube. So I don't know if you have unified screen names everywhere, but yeah, it's got you as your YouTube screen name. So, and we're streaming in multiple places. We're up on my personal Facebook page. We're over on YouTube, and we're on Twitch. Yeah, you get to kind of see where you go. You're all over the place.
It's boosh of EFG.
Yeah, exactly. We're all over the place. So, my good news is, man, it's. Here's the thing. I should be more prepared for this, being that I prepare the podcast. And and this was my segment that I added. But really, I'm just generally good and don't have anything really exciting other than, you know what? I'm going to go with this. I discovered Severance this week, and now I'm all in, and I discovered it just in time for it to end on Friday. So I'm going to go with that. That's my good news. I'm really excited about TV. Because between Severance and Invincible last week, I'm having a pretty good week.
Severance is on Apple TV, right?
Yep.
That's what we just got new iPhones, which comes with 3 months free of Apple TV, and I'm waiting till I have time to sit and watch Severance when I get my 3 free months.
It's gonna go really fast, and also you get we got confirmation of a 4th season of Ted Lasso, so I'm gonna enjoy that too. So anyway, so that's my good news. Let's talk about what games we are playing. And Linda, you and I have the same one to talk about, and we played a lot of it on Friday, and that is Flip 7 from the OP. My God, do they have a winner? This is going to be one of those games. I feel like, tell me if I'm crazy, Linda. I felt like over the course of the night that we played that game slowly became one of those games that we're going to be recommending over and over and over again, not only for the rest of this year, but moving forward.
Oh yeah, this is going to be on multiple lists of ours. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those, such a great fit for a group. There's no limit to the number of players. You're really just confined by the size of your space. And they recommend, I think it was above like 18 players, you get a second deck.
Yep.
So it can be a party game, but it's not like your traditional party game. When you think party game, you're thinking something that's, you're guessing, what somebody's thinking or what, their preference. This is basically a spin on blackjack, but not. So the premise is, the reason it's called Flip 7 is your goal is to flip 7 cards, get 7 cards flipping without repeating any of the numbers. And what makes it really challenging is that you have one number 0, one number 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, and it goes up to 12. So your odds of getting a higher value card go up. And so it's a push your luck, so you can stay or you can take another card. There's a couple special effect cards, and if you get 7 unique cards, you get bonus points. So it's really an advantage for points. You're trying to get to 200 points over multiple rounds. So, I mean, with such simple that's the whole game. I just explained the entire rules to you, and we played it what 3, 4, 5. I don't know. We just kept playing it. We kept dealing out, playing another round.
We kept going. Yeah.
We just kept going.
It was what I really liked about it was everybody was engaged, including there were some folks that normally don't get into crunchier games. We were able to play while we were all talking, and it was a great party atmosphere. It felt like blackjack, but we weren't doing math or gambling. It really felt like a lot of just going around the table, hit me one more time, etc. I really liked it. This is Linda, we had so much fun.
So much fun with it, and they are updating the box, so it's going to have the little hangy tab, and it's going to be found on the shelves next to a lot of other really popular card games, and I think it's going to become really kind of ubiquitous. I think it's going to be in a lot of people's game cabinets, game shelves, travel bags.
Listen, if you're one of those people that whenever you go on a big camping trip or whatever, you go grab a new Uno deck, or you go grab Phase 10 just to get it, or you like to. This is one of those, Phase 10, all those. Like if you go to that section of Walmart or Target and you always just grab a new one because you're going somewhere or anything like that, Flip 7 is one of those you need to consider it. It is a little different, but it is absolutely a competitor, and I think everybody's got to have this in their collection. I think this is as far as I'm concerned, if you like playing card games and you play with a larger group, this is a must-own. It's easy to play, even with younger players would be able to do it. They might not be great at it, but as long as they can recognize two shapes as being the same, they can decide what they're doing. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to lose. It was a lot of fun to win. It was a lot of fun to watch Linda's husband, my good buddy John, lose over and over again.
And again.
Which it's great. I don't get to see him do that much in games. So, man, Linda, I think Linda,
so hard.
It was an understatement when I say this game is going to end up on a lot of lists. I think the two of us were thinking about that the whole night. Like, man, is this really? I mean, the sky's the limit on this thing. So we really can't wait. They did give me some extra decks, so we will very likely be giving some away to some EFG fans over the course of the year. Because they are trying to promote the crap out of this game. So stay tuned for that. It was fun. And what else did we play, Linda? Friday. We played
we played
we played Combo.
Combo.
We played Combo. From Happy Camper Games. And you know what? We'll talk about that in more detail later, but I think Combo was also quite fun, but very different. It was, speaking of card games that are like gambling games, check it out, Jeff. Combo is like semi-cooperative Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
Very wild. And so we'll talk about that more. That's another one that's going to be, you kind of got to take pictures of it. We'll share that.
Yeah, I'll get those pictures. I took some. I'll have to take some more staged ones because they tend to be easier to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You were a little busy like playing.
I was actually playing. It was great.
It's great. Yeah, it was awesome. So, yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to talk about that one. Jeff, it's wrestling game time because they put out
game season. And I skipped last year, so I was excited this year. Yeah,
so WWE 2K25 is out. And how has your adventures been?
I have been enjoying it. For the first time, and I don't know how long, actually beat. So one of the areas of the game is called My Rise. You create a wrestler, and that you play through a story with them. Typically, My Rise in previous games, they had a male story and they had a female story.
Yeah.
And they didn't cross. This year, you start by creating a male or female, and a couple hours into the story, they ask you to create someone of the opposite gender.
Okay.
And it has a dual story going on. There's choose your own adventure type things where you had to pick away. So the thing is, they want you to go back and play the parts of the story, pick the different options later on because you can unlock different things and have different stories. So they want you to play through it multiple times.
Okay, that's cool.
So that was really fun. And then I also just last night beat their showcase mode. And for those of you who don't know, the WWE Showcase is usually they showcase a certain wrestler or group of wrestlers. Last year they did the 40 years of WrestleMania. So you were playing through old WrestleMania matches. They did John Cena's biggest, greatest opponents or losses or something the year before. This year is all about the bloodline. And so there's quite a few wrestlers that have not been in a WWE game for a very long time or have never been in a WWE game. So like playing as the Wild Samoans from the 80s. Rosie
Are the
and
Bushwhackers
Jamal.
in it?
No,
Because they're not in the bloodline. The bloodline is, they're not in the bloodline. So you get to play as Rikishi.
I mean, Rikishi's been in the games for a while now because as a legend, but you'll get to play as Fatu, who he was before Rikishi when he was in the Head Shrinkers.
Okay.
Rosie and Jamal, 3-minute warning from, if anyone remembers that from the Ruthless Aggression era.
That's some OG stuff. So
Jamal
that's awesome.
used to-
So how does it work mechanically? Does it just present you with matches and you just play through them and it's just a challenge mode?
So yeah, and then there's different. So previously in the showcase mode, what they have done is, they have their challenges. It's like, show them how tough you are, hit them with a weapon 5 times, and that's how you unlock your stuff. And then there'd be something to tell you to do, and it would go to, actually showing video. Previously, it would show the computer animated showing the video, and it would go into the real match. It doesn't do that this year, and which is better because I think that kind of has been played out. Because previously these matches had no commentary, which was horrible. So now they have Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton doing commentary over all the matches, even the old matches.
That's cool.
So it's really fun. And then, as usual, I've also played a little bit of Universe mode, which is where you kind of create your own storylines.
Cool.
I've come across a few glitches. Came into a big one last night where at the Queen of the Ring pay-per-view, I went to switch something and it messed up my whole pay-per-view to where somehow Eve Torres won the Queen of the Ring, but she was versus no one. And when I went into the match, it was just her by herself and no one else. So I guess she was versus John Cena.
Yep. Ha. Well.
And then I just had to exit out, and I literally just had to simulate all the matches. So she won the tournament because there was no one else they put in the tournament.
I mean, listen, that's one heck of a storyline.
Yeah, and so but besides that, I'm having a fun time with it. I'm enjoying it. They have some great DLC coming, which I got the version that comes with all the DLC, which I usually do when I buy the game.
Cool.
Because I like getting all the other wrestlers and stuff. I'm enjoying it. It's if you like arcadey wrestling games, I will definitely say this is not for you because it is very simulation heavy.
Yeah.
And a new thing they added this year, they brought back for the first time since I want to say it was SmackDown versus Raw 2006. You can now have intergender matches where men and women can fight each other.
That's interesting. But I mean, it is a video game, so Lord knows I've gotten beat up by Chun-Li more than one time. So that's awesome. WWE 2K25, very cool. Glad that you enjoyed it this year. John, welcome aboard. Glad that you could join us. And I'm glad that your conversation with your dad went great. You could come back. So,
Yeah, it didn't, but
oh crap.
we'll talk about that later.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
I'm glad to give you a distraction because podcast night is best night. John, why don't you start and tell us all about, let's lighten the mood and talk about Mini Shoot Adventures.
So, it just feels like a floaty old.
Well, first off, tell us what it is because we haven't talked about it in a little bit. Let's remind everybody.
It's what if Zelda was a spaceship bullet hell with minimal dialogue, very Tunic
Okay.
like. It's one of those games that doesn't tell you much, and you slowly get upgrades, slowly get more powerful and stuff like that. Um, and then you just kind of keep unlocking more and more areas. It's the same kind of map as a Zelda is, but you're a spaceship and you're flying around, you're blowing up these bad guys, and you just ultimately it's hard to like. There's no way not to be more and more powerful, um, but it's
I'm
very
showing it on
cool.
the screen right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I can see it. It's just very cool bullet hell that is approachable.
Yeah.
Like
Have they revealed if this coming to any consoles yet, or they haven't said anything?
I
It
think,
has not been announced yet. Because if this was on Switch, like
yeah,
everybody would have it.
yeah. When it comes
Um,
to Switch,
this
this is definitely coming to Switch. There's no doubt in my mind. This is
it has
easily
to.
playable on the Switch. I played it on my Rogue Ally. It's Deck compatible, so it's handheld friendly.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. This is one of those games that it doesn't make sense until you see it.
Until you see it, until you play. When you get your hands on it,
Mhm.
and I think there is a demo.
There is a demo,
It's
which I have
so good.
played multiple times. This is a really like we don't need to see. We don't need
Rivals.
that. Well, it's Marvel. I'm clicking. I'm clicking in Riverside, trying to stop it. That's the Marvel Rivals song from Chrissy Costanza. It's very cool, very unexpected. So let me stop sharing. And here we go. Yeah, I'm a huge Mini Shoot Adventures fan. This is one of those games that, like, man, yeah, I've just been waiting for it to come to consoles. But I think I might have to give up because
It's
every
on
time
sale for $10.50 right now.
oh man, okay, yeah, I'm gonna give up. I'm just gonna get it for a 10 spot on Steam.
Yep.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, guys. So, we love us some Mini Shoot Adventures. Let's see here. That's it. That is.
Do you want me
Go
to
ahead.
talk about Split Fiction?
I want to because I actually want to play it, and so we'll talk about it on the next episode. I want to move on to some of because what I want to do is talk about Mom's playlist because this is a big deal. Speaking of the op, Linda, take it away. What is our playlist this week?
All right, so this is all a start your wish list, folks, because these are all the games that I got to see, that we got to see at New York Toy Fair. And I'm going to go in chronological order of when approximately you can expect to see these on store shelves. It is approximate because, as they were telling us, shipping has been some challenges. So these are approximate dates, but this is their rough timeline. So starting in April, there are two games that they showed us coming out in April. One of them is called 25 Words or Less, and basically you're getting a word on a card and you have to give clues, and you literally are counting every word you say as your clue, and you have to keep it under 25 words total. So it's really challenging to go through, and it's on the card there's multiple things you're trying to get through that whole list in under 25 words of clues. And you're moving your piece along a track to keep track of how many words you've uttered. So that looks like a lot of fun. We also saw something called How Many What? And again, it's another little card game. And the example he showed us at the booth was how many blank does a human eyeball weigh? And there's some different options on the card of what it could be. And so then it gives you kind of this baseline. And so it's a guessing game based on these abstract measures of some sort, which is really kind of neat. I could see my kids really getting into this one because they just are the well of abstract and random facts. They might get that from their father. But those two are coming out in April. Those look like a lot of fun. Smaller, medium box games, not gigantic ones. Another one that's coming out the next month, so May-ish, they were telling us, they're expecting a game called Tactica. And this one, both of us got really excited for. It's another card game. It's a card laying game. and there's these little dots, and you can overlay matching dots. So if there's 4 dots in the center, for example, and you can lay it on top of where there's another 4 dots, you can do that. You could do on the corners. This one has 3 dots on the corner. You can match the 3. But you only get points for what's still exposed at the end. So if people are laying their card on top of yours, they're covering your points. And it had this really cool visual on the table. It looks like something that's really going to be a lot of fun to play, very easy to learn. They explained it to us like that's pretty much the rules. There's a few other tweaks, but that's about it. And the other thing
I wanted to share some pictures. I wanted to share a picture of that one, Linda. How did we spell that again?
Tactica.
Yep.
Tactica.
Oh. It's way that's depressing because I spelled that way wrong. That's let's see here. I'm trying to find it because I wanted to show some pictures of it. But believe it or not,
and our Trello, if you want to pull one of our images from Toy Fair.
We're gonna do that because what's wild is
there no images?
No, there are images. Let me see here. You put it under your notes, right?
It's under my notes. Yep.
No, it doesn't see the images actually. Nope, that's because I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Because I'm stupid, guys. Let me share.
It's been a long day.
It has been a very, very long day. So, I will start showing stuff. So, where is Tactica? Is this it? Nope, that's Glyphix.
Sorry, there's a lot of stuff.
There's so many games.
So
here we go. Here we go.
There's
So this is 25
words.
words or less. And
so
next,
like.
so then that's how many what? Oh, here we go. In order. Then it's Tacta.
Tactica.
No, it's Tacta. That's why I got it wrong.
That's why I wrote it in my notes wrong. I added a syllable. So Tacta.
You did. So what's interesting about this is this picture kind of shows it in play, right?
Yes.
And it's like the beginning of a game, and this is like a picture of him demonstrating what. So he's just kind of showing stuff. It is when we actually saw some people playing it, and the way it actually plays out, the cards are spread out all over the course of the table. Everything is very colorful and kind of this absolutely gave me like Tron vibes, minus the neon, but just with colorful lines and everything kind of jutting out all over the place. It definitely gave me that kind of vibe, which I think is very cool.
So like the corners and the lines like overlap everything to build off it kind of thing.
Exactly.
I've been getting into more and more games like this.
Yeah, the box
this
actually
is my jam.
Yeah, the box actually kind of gives you an idea of what the board looks like when it's all done, because you're covering over these shapes from other cards, and it's very cool. I think lots of folks will. Yeah, I can't wait to play it with you, John, because this is one of those games we know they're going to send us a copy at some point. I am hoping, and we are going to play the crap out of this. All right, Linda, what's next? I will continue to share and continue.
And I believe
to
it's going up I actually think I gave them to you in order mostly. So Tapple Mini, this is also due out in May, and so it's the exact same game Tapple, but they've made it in this little handheld version. And Steve, you pointed out so well, it's more like a fidget in that way because it's like a Pop-It in how you're pushing down the letters as you do them. It's all self-contained. All the cards are still stored inside, so you don't have a box to worry about. You can just throw it in your bag, and you're ready to go. And it's really durable too. So we did manage to drop it when we were in the booth because we're handling it and fidgeting with it, and it was fine. It held together. It looks like it's really durable, so it's going to be good to bang around inside a bag or a purse. And this is such a fun game. I mean, when we played the regular Tapple a while ago, we really had a blast with it. So I'm excited to have it more portable.
This one has no batteries. No batteries on this one either, which I really like about it.
So,
all right, what else we got?
All right, so we got 3 more. So Glyphix is next. And Glyphix is sort of, think Pictionary, but with plastic shapes. So for on the table there, you can see there's some different shapes, and you're actually going to be using it to create these images and convey these, keyword prompt words, ideas, whatever you're supposed to be conveying through these little plastic shapes, and you have to use your creativity to convey what you need to in the game. So that one looks like it's a lot of fun, especially people that like those Pictionary kind of word games.
This also is just a really cool fidget. I was imagining myself just farting around with these.
Yep, pretty much. And then the two big games that they are anticipating for August, just in time for Gen Con, no coincidence, I'm sure. Fountains, which this one, there's not a lot of information. We didn't get to talk a lot about this, but it is a tile placement. There's some drafting in it. I couldn't even find an age recommendation or a play time. It is right now, I can find it it's listed as 2 to 5 player. You're creating a fountain filled with fish, coins, lily pads. The image, they had it set up. I don't know if it actually uploaded when I tried to get it into the. Oh, there it is, right there. Beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful looking. So I'm so excited to learn more about this game as it gets closer to Gen Con time, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hype around the release of this one. This looks like, this one and the other one I'm going to mention are definitely their meatier games that they're saving for the Gen Con release.
Yep.
And the other one that they're going to be releasing in that period of time is T-Witches.
I'm a bad producer because here I am. I just keep clicking the wrong stuff. Here we are.
There it is, T-Witches. And this one looks just absolutely adorable. It gives me a lot of the... why am I drawing a blank on now with the dragons?
Flamecraft.
Flamecraft, yes, Flamecraft. Thank you. It's been a long day. I've been up since 5, and I slept in this morning. It gives me very much Flamecraft vibes. And so you've got some push your luck elements on it, some tile placement, some worker placement, and you're taking on the role. You've got witches that are serving during a fair, and you're trying to see if your tea reigns supreme. So this is 2 to 4 players, around 60 minutes. They're recommending it for about ages 12 and up. So that one should be really exciting. Again, they're taking their heavy hitters and they're bringing them out at the biggest game convention in the United States. And
I know what my
the board just
birthday
looks
present's
adorable.
going to be now.
Yeah, this is a...
When's her birthday?
She loves tea,
There you go.
loves witches.
There you go. This is like
Something's
perfect her speed.
brewing.
Oh
It
man.
is.
This is the board too. I like the shape of the board and everything. It's very cool. And I'm liking this guy here on the little like potato thing.
Very cute.
It's got a good table presence. We like this one. But this is definitely one of the heavier games they showed us.
Yep. Yeah, this one and Fountains are clearly, like everything else we saw were like quick, light games. These are definitely their more mid-weight games that they make. But I think these are going to be huge hits for people that are looking for more than a light card game.
I think so. I think so too. And I mean, we're big fans of the OP, so love that they.
I might have gushed all over Gnome Hollow.
Yeah, we did. Well, I mean, we showed them the magazine, which is we had a little bit of a delay, but that should be coming out the beginning of next week. Which has a review of Gnome Hollow, which reviewed very well with us. All right. Anything else from the OP, or is that the last of Mom's playlist?
That was it for what is not out yet from the OP that we got a sneak peek at Toy Fair.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that, Linda. Now let us move on to the news, and I am so glad that the man behind the curtain is here, because how could we talk about family gaming news this week without talking about the fact that they announced a Pokemon Lego set and he didn't know about it? So he got news. You're Mr. Lego. As far as I'm concerned, you're the president of the company.
I was literally in the middle of a boring meeting. I was sitting there, and I was scrolling through Facebook, and it just...
In the middle of a meeting, sir?
My part of the meeting was over, so like I was just sticking around just to see. There was like a case. Yep. Yeah.
I hope he.
I could have been helpful, but I wasn't. So then
I
I
hope
just
he-
scrolled
you know.
on Facebook and it just popped up, and I'm just like, I saw the tail, and then I saw the Lego logo. I'm like, oh no, it's finally happening.
Then he sent me the picture.
I sent you the picture. I
boy.
posted it in the group.
I saw it on the group and I was like,
Yeah.
no way.
So
Yeah,
I saw it this morning. Like
yeah,
it. I mean, before Lego even announced it, because Lego Mexico's account accidentally leaked it,
yeah.
and
They
Oh
was-
no.
So that's the
Wario
other thing.
64 was reporting on that. That's where I saw it, and
So technically, the way it is, I had to move around some meetings last week because we discovered that half my team's in Mexico. So we discovered that they are 2 hours behind the East Coast. So when they released it for the same time we were going to do on the East Coast, and that's why they pulled it right down. And then, like, I walked by my like IT guys, the people that run the site, and they were all like, you know, showing it off. So it was crazy.
I mean, listen, sometimes things get announced too early. Time zones are the worst. But so all inner workings of Lego aside, let's talk about this. So clearly it is not just a Pokemon announcement. The video was clearly Pikachu's tail. So I think we can assume then that at some point in the next year or so, we will have a Pikachu Lego set. And wasn't it just like it feels like
Pikachu.
listen, okay, I'm gonna keep it. We know Pikachu because they wouldn't give us Pikachu's tail and then have it be Jigglypuff. You know, that would be weird. If they do a Jigglypuff one, we know Kahi's gonna want one. Marie will definitely be asking for a Jigglypuff Lego. But I told my oldest, I showed it to him. I was like, "Listen, we're one step closer to a Hawlucha Lego set." John, you're the president of Lego, as far as I'm concerned.
We're about 800 steps from a Hawlucha Lego set. No,
Wow,
offense.
wow. That's
They
more or
haven't
less.
So I
They
ran
haven't even
into
come out with a Hawlucha pop, and he'd make a perfect pop.
That's exactly what my oldest said. John, you're the president of Lego, as far as I'm concerned. So if you could put in a good word for me and get him to make a
this is
Hawlucha
what
Lego
I'm
set for me.
I was, as soon as I saw the thing, like about 2-3 minutes later, I ditched out of that meeting and sent the picture to Jeff. And then I ran into a old teammate at the store, like on the other side. And when I did, I told her, I was like, "Hey, we just announced Pokemon." She's like, "No," because she works in the call center. So like, I'm like, I wonder what the promo's gonna be. It's got to be like, imagine just the starters, just like the original 3 starters. As wow, like even Linda's just like, whoa.
You know what? Listen, there's just
Yeah,
I mean,
Eh,
they're gonna have to, at one point, you're gonna get like a full-on Pokemon Center.
yeah, oh yeah,
I don't-
absolutely.
I mean-
That's got to be launch. Launch it will
unless
be,
it's just a collector's one.
we're not,
And
we're
it's
not-
just
They're-
Pikachu in the black box. Let's
Well,
not get wild,
well,
you
no,
two.
no,
I
no.
don't
so
work
it-
for Lego like some
if
of
it-
us, but
it-
sorry.
so giving Steve some credit, it may be something like that day one,
That's what I. Was
and
gonna say.
then you get something else later on. Like it could be a big Pikachu set, and then every like major fan favorite Pokemon as a Brickhead.
I mean, okay, so Brickhead
Because
Pokemon.
That's what we did with Optimus. Optimus came out, and then a year and a half, we got Bumblebee, and then we got Bumblebee Optimus Brickheads.
Well, and I'm just thinking of how they did the Mario stuff. Like you would think. I mean, of course they did the.
I don't
the-
think we're gonna do a digital component.
No,
to
no, no.
this
I'm
other
not
than
about like
the-
that. I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I'm just gonna. So like, the Bowser. You had the
Yeah.
Bowser. You had the question block. They now have a Mario Kart coming out. Like, it's gonna come out. And don't hurt me, John, if you saw my Pokemon Mega Blocks there. My wife bought it for me. I had to put it together.
I have a Pokeball of that.
And you know what I
I
said
have one of those
after I put it
Pokeball
together?
ones. The wife bought it too.
I told her these don't work as well as Lego, and
It's not Lego.
I can finally get Lego to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously this is going to, Pikachu Lego is going to sell like crazy. This is going to be one of those things that we'll be talking about as it goes. I'm sure John will be building it during a podcast. I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait to build it. And it's just a matter of what they do next.
When I showed Jessie, her response to me was, "Oh, so you're spending lots of money on Lego next year?"
Yeah.
I mean, hold up. I just want to clarify. Were you not already? Like, it's not like Pikachu is the only cool Lego thing.
No. I mean,
like, come on, Jess.
I mean, the only reason
John knows how much Lego I order.
Well, the only reason he got like, a personal notification was because he was in my recent, because he ordered from me the other day. So.
All right. Well, yeah, I get it. So anyway, all right. So that is I'm very excited about the Pikachu thing. I think it's going to be very cool. Obviously, I jest about Hawlucha. We know that that's probably not likely. Although I say that now, and go figure. Like, wouldn't it be funny? Although, give me a pop. Yeah. Give me a Hawlucha pop, please. How about that? So
it took forever to finally get Gengar. Gengar didn't come out till this year as a pop.
I know. So yeah, we got a while, if ever. So it's what happens. I like Jazz and I like Hawlucha, but so I'm at least Jazz. They make lots of those. So let's talk about something else. How about let's feel old for a moment and talk about Chrono Trigger. Just had a big birthday. Chrono Trigger being one of the most well-loved JRPGs of the SNES era. Chrono Trigger celebrated its 30th anniversary this past week. How's everybody feel about that?
I think this might be the year I actually play the game.
Goodness gracious.
I've only gotten like a few hours into it, and I always...
Same.
It's just very long. Like, two time-based games that have too much dialogue that have not been updated, like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters.
They need a Pixel remaster of that, and then definitely I would play it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will admit, I have not finished it either, despite starting it like 6 times. But here's the thing: it's only like 20 hours long. So I think that's the challenge that I think a lot of folks have, is that like it ain't that long. But
you want to race?
No,
see which
I'm not a betting man anymore. I'm not a betting man.
It's just a race. I'm not saying betting. Race.
No, because that's how I end up. That is how I end up.
Friendly competition.
Yeah. Maybe we'll think about it. But so that's our moment of feeling old. Linda, do you remember seeing anything about this game ever? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I recognize the name. I don't have any connection with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's all right.
I'm gonna share the box art.
Steve, you are right.
Okay.
How Long to
Let's
Beat
see.
has main plus extra at 26 and a half hours.
So I'm sharing the image because it's so much easier now that I can just do that. Linda, have you ever seen this box art? That's the test.
It seems vaguely familiar, but I mean, think of where I was 30 years ago. I was let's see. I was a high school senior.
You were not a gamer.
And I was not a gamer at all. I had the closest thing I had to it. I had a couple friends trying to pull me into D&D Second Edition, unsuccessfully.
Wow.
30 years
Wow.
ago,
That was, guys, as we know, she just needed to LARP first. So
Who would have
she
thought?
needed.
That's the order of operations.
The answer
she's
is
gonna play Elden Ring first.
It's true. She's going to be a Souls-like player.
30 years ago, I was 6.
I hate you. So moving on,
Yes.
that is our feeling. That's our all feeling old thing. Speaking of feeling old, how about this is really interesting. How many of y'all remember backyard baseball? And
You mean with
was
the
I
bat
the
and
only?
the ball when you like play
No,
t-ball?
no, the video
No.
game
No.
backyard baseball.
Our version of backyard baseball that we could actually be good at.
Do you have the cover
Yeah,
art
I
for that
mean-
one?
I
only know
do.
the one with like the ball and the bat.
Why is it not
In the
coming up
backyard.
for me though?
I
Um,
went to high school and middle school in the same town where the wiffle ball factory is,
Oh, really?
Shelton, Connecticut.
That's a little piece of trivia right
Nice.
there. All right, so here we go. Backyard
Fun fact.
baseball. So we have a tweet from the Backyard Sports team, and I will share it. So what this is, Backyard Sports is these little guys right here playing baseball. Backyard baseball. Why did it really not share my? I hate everything. Let me share my window.
And didn't they just like backyard sports just came back last year, right? They had for
They just what they did is they announced that the franchise is coming back. Don't mind all of my tabs, everybody. Getting ready for a podcast is hard. So backyard baseball, backyard sports is a franchise where you have these little cartoony characters and they play backyard sports, very arcade sportsy stuff. Alongside kid versions of professional athletes. And it was a very big deal. It is coming back. And they announced that backyard baseball, as you notice, this person is playing a game on the phone, is coming to mobile later this year. And it is coming without ads, which I think is very cool. I think that's a neat way to bring this franchise back. One of the things that
Apple Arcade only, or
it's
everything?
they did not say, but it's coming to no, it's not because it's coming to Apple and the follow-up post. Let's see what it said. Let's see here. Yeah, it's coming to. It is not just Apple Arcade. It's coming to mobile. So it's coming to Apple and Android. What's really cool about this is, number one, I hope this is just because it was easier to put on mobile. I really hope that it doesn't stick as just a mobile franchise. But the idea is we really don't have a lot of arcade sports games. There's, right now, like if you want to play a sports game, you really have to play a simulation game. Right? You got to play the show. You got to play 2K25, etc. You got to play Madden. And the advantage to these games is they're kid-friendly. There were more accessible controls, and you're playing as kids right alongside the professional athletes. And I thought that was awesome then, and so I really hope that they bring that energy now. And I really hope this is just let's put it on phones. Let's let kids play it. Let kids enjoy it. So when we put it out on Switch and PS5 and Xbox next year, everybody will really like it. So that's my hope, because I love arcade sports games. So big fan of that. What is that? What are you building? Oh, is that Grogu? Oh, snap. He's building a little baby Yoda. Oh, no. Speaking of Star Wars, how about that for a segue, everybody? We got an announcement that they are making. They're going to be announcing a turn-based tactics Star Wars game. It's going to be announced at the Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo during April. I mean, we all know Linda is playing this day one, midnight launch, skipping work the next day so she can play it. But Jeff...
I'm calling sick. I don't feel good.
Jeff and John. What about you guys? Are you interested at all in XCOM, but you're Jedi or what?
I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, so
Okay.
maybe if it comes to either Game Pass or PS Plus.
Okay. What about you, John?
I'm not an XCOM fan, so I'm on the other side.
Okay. Well, that's a bummer.
I'm a huge
Okay.
Star Wars fan.
Sorry, we just brought down the mood.
You guys, the two of you guys killed
Yeah,
the
we-
mood. That's okay. Listen.
We stopped a bit cold.
He was looking for admiration.
You really did. I was like, hey guys, be excited
You want to talk
about
about
this.
XCOM? Call up Mike. Like, that's your brother. Like, It's your brother's department.
It is in fact his department, and maybe I should have been like, hey Mike, what are we thinking about Star Wars? You know what? I like new stuff, if for nothing else. I do like turn-based games. I'm not very good with the twitchy stuff. I'm not like super skilled like Linda, you know. So
So skilled.
I do, I like the thinky stuff. So I'm interested to see how this turns out, and so I mean, like I said, I like new and shiny things. Star Wars is not my biggest fandom. However, I do like space wizards with laser swords, and that's
I'm
what
gonna
you
be curious
get.
to see, yeah, if this is something that my family wants to bring in, because I don't know style wise if it's going to fit. Sometimes I think they're gonna really want it, and then they're like, eh, and sometimes I think it's gonna be a eh, and they're all excited. So I'm curious when they hear about it, what their take
Yeah, I
is
can't.
going to be.
That's actually, you know what? I am also kind of interested to hear where they come down on, because they do, because we know you guys love Star Wars, but it is hard to predict what will land with you guys. But considering how many hours your husband has put into Baldur's Gate 3 over the last handful of months,
Yeah.
I suspect he does not have a problem with turn-based video games.
No, I think he
Give
might
me a
enjoy
good
this.
Star Wars action game. Outlaws was great. It's a little short. Um,
Well, they're gonna.
you know, they just shut down. What was that? Hunters.
Yeah, Star Wars Hunters, the
Yeah.
free-to-play PC game that got a listen. I mean,
Only a year.
they're not all going to land, especially the live service games. They're not all going to land. But they've given us plenty of action games, so it's interesting that they're giving us a try here. I would like it if they would finish the KOTOR remake, because I never played Knights of the Old Republic, and I would certainly like to play that one. So that is, guys, that's it. The 4-hour news. This has been a slow couple of weeks, mostly because I think video game news is kind of slowing down a little bit. Because it's either Headshot Central or people have just been waiting to announce their family-friendly games alongside all the stuff for the Switch 2. So, guys, I'm happy to say we did it.
Did it?
Yeah.
We did. One more episode in the can. So, everybody, I hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed recording. We'll be back in 2 more weeks for another episode. Hopefully, Amanda will be...
Switchmas Eve.
Oh, will it be Switchmas Eve? Oh, wow. It'll be the day before.
The day before.
Ooh.
Maybe. All right. Maybe we'll wait. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if we can. Maybe we'll see. We'll talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll talk amongst ourselves if we want to try and move it.
We could do 2 episodes that week.
We'll see. We'll see what we're gonna do. Because we may need to talk about it. I might even stream it. We might do multiple things. Who knows?
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the Engage Family Gaming group, because who knows what we're going to do. Because this is obviously one of the biggest things that has happened since EFG started. We love a new Nintendo console. It happened once before. It will happen this time. So, everybody, I hope you have a great week. Until next time, don't forget to get your family game on. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
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 All right, guys. Good job.
Yeah, sorry about that.